So welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy. Now, as you know, if you've seen the other videos, we're making this team of under-23 Euro Challenger cards that will make you money before or during next season. We've had so far our 4 defenders and our 3 midfielders, and now we're going to have a look at our forwards. We're going to have 3 of them, and here comes the first one. We have Noah Lang. Now this lad is Dutch. He plays in Belgium for Club Bruges. He's a 22-year-old. He's got another year at under 23 so far. He's 5'10" and he's right-footed. He's a forward, but he can play on the left or the right, but normally plays on the left. We see him as a creative playmaker, a really good creative playmaker. High pressing, so he works hard as well to get that ball back. The bad thing about this lad is his discipline. He's had 6 yellows this season with 2 reds as well. But he has played 32 games, started 28 of them. He's had 76 minutes per game on average. He's got 7 goals but 12 assists as well. Now he started out at Ajax in the Netherlands. He went on loan to Twente, went on loan to Bruges, and they thought he was so good so they signed him up as well. Now he's played at every level for the Netherlands, from like I think it's under 15s onwards. And so far he's got 3 caps for the full national side as well. Now looking at his transfer news, from what I can see, I've just been reading through all the news on him, and I've heard that Leeds United are sniffing around him again, but there's also interest from West Ham, AC Milan and Arsenal. We'll have a look at his price then. You can see up here £186 is his average, his 3 days average, and £197 is his floor price. Now again, you might think that's quite high, but for a forward, an under-23 forward, that's alright I think. Decent price for him. I think this will fly up, and in the past it has been quite high. Can have a look at his chart here then. So you can see on his pricing chart it's been up and down a little bit. We're looking at his price since he started here, and he was starting at how much? Was that 871? But it was #1 card, of course. Started to average out and went down again realistically, but he was at 247 there. He's been up again recently at 550, and now he's right down here due to the end of the season, I would have thought, but £171 was the last public offer. So, you know, an average of 186 for his price is really good. Looking at his scores, his last 5 of 54, 100% of games played. Last 15 of 46, 87%. A last 40 of 54, and 90% of the games played. They've got him down as a substitute at the moment, but you know, Noah Lang has just in his last 2 games been really good. Let's have a look at his SO5 scores then. We'll do the whole thing. And you see a massive chunk of his time there, 40 to 50s, he scored 27 of them. But look at all these scores here, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. He's flying, isn't he? The last few months then, he's been quite low down, and he did get moved to substitute a few times, but he's come back, he's hit 79 there. This is the last 3 games, a 79, a 66 and a 73. So he's back in these sides then. He's starting again. He got an assist up there in his last match. He got a goal 3 games ago against Beershot. But if this guy can hit that form again, which he is doing at the moment, looking at them scores, he could be back up at the £400 or £500 player. And to get him at the price he is at the moment, you're laughing, absolutely laughing. I think he still needs to develop, but he's making it into the national side now. Hopefully it's on a regular basis. I'm not sure if a move is a good thing for him. I mean, for SO5 scoring, you'd probably want him to stay where he is. But you know, if he goes to one of these top clubs, Leeds, West Ham, AC Milan, Arsenal, and performs, his price is going to skyrocket. So that is our first player that we're looking at. It's Noah Lang, plays for Club Bruges. So we move on to our second striker. A few of you will be familiar with this guy. It's Ivan Nielsen. He plays in Porto. He's 22 years old. He's got 2 years left at the under-23 level. 5'11". He is 2-footed, and he plays as a forward. And I've always had him down as like a left forward, but just recently he's been playing with Sorare as a right forward when they played 2 up front. So they've got him down as main position right forward. So a few bad points about Ivan Nielsen. The outfield battles when he's tackling, loses a lot of them. But he's also, as a striker, he misses a hell of a lot of chances. I think it's something like 14 big chances that he's missed this season. The strong point is though, he is actually good at finishing, it says. does score quite a few goals. This season he's played 27 games, only started 22 of them, but he's hit 13 goals. Managed to get 4 assists and 2 yellows. So he can score, he knows what a goal is. But once he starts converting these, imagine his goal scoring rate. I mean, transfer is not due to go anywhere, right? So he's going to be staying at Porto as far as we're aware. But the big news is Taremi might be on his way. Doesn't want to sign a new contract. He's waiting for a few people to come in for him. So Evanilson could be that main striker at Porto. If he converts some chances, wow, his price is going to go high, isn't it? He started at Fluminense but moved to Porto at an early age and has been there. He's a Brazilian player, but not really made the international side as of yet. I think he will do. I mean, this guy's quite a big lad. He's been on form some games, out of form next games. He's just a bit inconsistent, to be honest. But let's have a look at his SO5 scores. And this is all his scores since we started. A lot of DMPs coming up there as he was breaking through into the team. He's playing games now and again, but look at these big scores here. 80s, 70s, 60s. He's alright. When he's on form, he's good. But it seems to be at the moment, Porto keeps swapping, chopping and changing. Now you can see when he does actually play, he can hit some big scores. Around these 70s, sort of an average here, 70s. But he's also had a lot of games where, he's played most of the match and just not really performed. So still a little bit raw, I think, looking at him. But as I say, with Taremi maybe going, I'm hoping that he can change all of his scores into this type going along here. And he'll be a big striker for quite a few years, I think. As we said, he's only 22 years old, so he's got to try and push some good players out of that team. So let's have a look at his price chart then since he started. And you'll see down at the bottom here when he first came onto the platform, nobody really knew him. Started to climb a little bit as he played. I managed to get one at 116. That was back in last year sometime. It's 126, sorry. And I managed to sell him for just 149, but it was a quick profit because I was trading at the time. Not managed to get hold of one since, but I want one. Just all my money's tied up with other players that I've got. But you see his price up here, look, it's been up at, how much? £355, and there's quite a few around that mark, the 300 quid mark. And he's right down now at, let's have a look, 127 quid. You look at his floor price, 140 quid his floor price, but his average £127. And for someone like this, that's coming to the end of the season, so when the new season starts, his price will go up anyway. But then if he starts in Taremi's place and takes it as a main striker for Porto, then you're talking different class, and we're talking, I think 400 or 500 quid if he becomes the main striker there. So that's my second player, Evanilson. I think a big future ahead of him. One of my favourites he is. So we move on to our final forward, and I've changed this. I was going for Jesper Karlsson, but his price has just shot up back to where it should be. So you may have missed out on him already. So we're going for Joris Visser, who plays at PSV Eindhoven. He's Belgian, he's 21 years old, he's 5'9" and right-footed. Got injured recently in the Dutch Cup final after about 10 minutes, so you'll see his little yellow injury sign up there in the top corner, next to his name. It says back on the 5th of the 5th, but I think he's going to be out for the rest of the season, so his price may dip again a little bit more to get you an even better bargain, and then go up at the start of the season next year. Now he started off at Westerlo Youth Academy, but moved on to PSV's academy at a young age again. He's been with them ever since. He's played at every single international level for Belgium, and just looking at his figures there, he's played 35 games at the different levels and he's hit 16 goals. Not in the full team, he hasn't made that just yet. His strengths, I mean, this guy he's pretty fast, he's direct, he'll run at people. And when he gets the ball, something always seems to happen. His weaknesses then, his ground duels are not great. He loses a lot of possession because he tries and crosses the ball quite a lot, playing out on the right hand side. I think his main striking position is a main striker or a right sort of winger, but they've got him down as a central midfielder or right attacking midfielder. Out and out forward would be, I think, his best position, or maybe the right of two of them. So far this season then, he's played 24 games. He's only had 3 assists and 6 goals, so again another one that's still raw. But the price you're getting him at, I think it's a good shout, this. He's averaging 33 minutes per game. So he's played 24 games, he's subbed in 19 times and subbed out 5 times. So the whole 24 games, he hasn't played a single 90 minutes yet. So, 3 assists and 6 goals is a pretty good return, I guess. I can see him being at PSV next season, and there's not much competition, I don't think, as a main striker. I mean, players are going to move on, aren't they? So he might get his chances there. But let's have a look at his price then, because I said he's cheap. His overall prices. I got this lad when he first came, well, near enough when he first came out, for 83 quid, and I've kept him ever since. He's not really got above that, and now he's right down, as I say, he's right down here now. The last sale, £36.93. I mean, for me, he's going to make that back up to that 80 quid where I am here, but I think he's going to go way past that, and I think he'll get a lot more time next year in their first team, in PSV's first team, starting a few games, I think, personally. We can have a look at his SO5 scores. I mean, they're not fantastic. I just see he's been substitute quite a lot of times then. I mean, these 20s down here, the 20s all along, 29 minutes there, he's had 29 minutes, 1 minute. So, you know, they're not exactly good things to go off. I mean, 11 minutes, 1 minute, you know, 60 minutes then he got 36. But these big scores up here then, I mean, he played here, he got 94.7 in 62 minutes. He got a 61 in 15 minutes. A 65 in 26, and when he plays, he's decent, and you'll see it when you actually watch this guy. He sort of explodes. So that's what I'm looking forward to next season, and he's our third choice, although he's a sort of substitute choice for me because, as I said, Carlson was the one I was going for, but he's my next choice and my third forward, finishing them off. So we've done our forwards now, the under-23s. You can see we've had Noah Lang, Ivan Nielsen and Joris Visser. Quite a strong front three, I think, for an under-23 side. And we'll put them now into the full main team, and let's see what that looks like. So here we go, our team so far. The only thing missing at the moment is a goalkeeper and a couple of subs that we'll chat about. But going through the team again then, Milan van Nieuwijk, Jordan Teze, Melly Meulenstein, Owen Vindal. Good strong defence that. Wing backs basically, Van Nieuwijk and Vindal, always going to get you good assists, I think. We've got Gravenbach who can hold there. We've got Hakenevian and Braganca in central midfield. And we've got Vertessen put on the right. We've got Lang on the left, and we've got Ivan Nielsen up front. Now that's a pretty strong team, I think. Very Dutch heavy, as in the league that they're playing. I think that could give anyone a decent game. And if we can get this goalkeeper right now, that could be a team, I think, for years to come. You might be seeing these as big players in a few years' time. You know, a lot of these you might not have heard of. I do a lot of study into them as well. So I'm hoping that this will be a big team. 1 or 2 years down the line, you might see these as mainstay players within their teams, or within even bigger teams in Europe. Well, that's our team so far. I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, give it a like, because it does support the channel. And also subscribe if you want to see the goalkeeper, see who that is. And you can also see any of the other videos by either clicking on my channel or clicking on the links that you see on the video at the top of these. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon for that goalkeeper one.